This video is going to be just a fast kind of an information, some things that you can do um, by yourself to help get in touch with yourself, which is really the most important thing that you could ever do with this. You are born alone. You essentially live alone. Yeah, I mean, you have friends and family, but they're not physically attached to you in most cases. Uh, and you will die alone. Uh, well, even if you were to take somebody with you or think you are, you're dying alone. So, I mean, I don't mean it to sound morbid or anything that you are alone during your entire life, but you really are. If you have friends and you like doing things. When you go to sleep, you're alone. Uh, when you dream, you're alone. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I'm saying this right. Uh, in order to get in touch with yourself, people have a natural ability to be able. Well, they absorb what's around them. They absorb what they're taught. The ways that are around them, their environments, what they do. You go to school, then, I mean, you want to be cool, so you act a certain way, even though it may not be the way you feel. Or you play a sport because you want to get a girl, or work out excessively, or stick your fingers down your throat because you want to stay skinny because you want to get a guy. There's a million, I don't even know how many there are, of patterns and habits like that people purposely put themselves through in order to accomplish something or doing something. Hopefully that makes sense. Very few people, if you ask them, who are you, will have an answer. They'll look at you, what do you mean? I'm a man, or I'm a school teacher, or I'm a policeman, I'm this. Well, that's what you do, but that's not who you are. Try to ask yourself that. Who are you? Who are you? Very simple question, one of the hardest there is to answer, because you've got to negotiate around, through, and uh, by all of these habits that you've picked up, and these things that you've clung to in order to help you identify what you think you are in the environment that you're in. The reality is you are not the girl who sticks her fingers down her throat I mean, you do that, but that's not you. People are extremely complex. Everybody has many, many sides to them. And then combine that with all of your emotions and your thoughts and your imagination and everything else that's a part of you. It's one person can do amazing things and very big things. So here's what I'm thinking, and I've got to try to keep this short, sorry, and of course, feel free to ask questions. The best way I know how to figure out who you really are is you have to remove yourself from all of these. You need to get away from any influences that either you're used to, or put yourself in an environment where there aren't any. In other words, a place that's very foreign. It may sound strange. A lot of people are going to think I'm nuts, but it works. Go to your room, shut all the lights off, no music, no television, no nothing, and just sit there. Sit there for 3 hours. See what you think about, see what you want to do. Are you mad that you're there? Analyze yourself and feel whatever it is you're going to feel. Don't stop yourself from anything. But this works the best if you are undisturbed. So for younger people, it's kind of hard to decide. Now, I have this for 18 and above. I don't think that... well, anyway, 18 and above. I don't know how easy it is for you to be able to do that, or if you want to wait till the middle of the night to do it, or however you want to do it, but that's a very good place to start. Solitude. Your thoughts, if you want to write them down, that's fine. no sounds, no music. Again, no influences, and just sit there in the dark for a couple of hours and see what you think about. See what you're doing. Do you get over anxious? Do you not like it? Do you love it? These things are. It's very important to know who you are if you're going to do this, because in nature, especially if you want to learn how to influence things with yourself, you have to know who you are, because you're going to have to introduce yourself to these things. And nature doesn't recognize anything that's false. That's not. None of that is natural. Nature doesn't care what color you are. Nature has no religious tone or knowledge whatsoever. Nature doesn't have any prejudices, but it also has a million prejudices, but not against you or who you are. It doesn't do it. That's not possible. It doesn't exist. Nature doesn't have favorites. Nature doesn't have anything that we as people do, even though we are, of course, part of nature. Nature doesn't recognize if we're jealous or pissed off. Nature doesn't recognize or care. Or nature doesn't have feelings. Nature doesn't have conscious. It doesn't have any of these things. So, as a being that does, and very heavy so, our emotions are enough to change the entire planet. Sexual drive has been enough to begin entire religions that still exist. All started because an ugly man with a short dick wanted to get laid with a pretty woman, and she wanted nothing to do with him. That started a religion. Another day I'll go into this, maybe, but that's basically what it all boils down to, and that's the truth. As you are in tune with yourself, you will change, because you're going to actually be the person that you really are. People aren't going to be used to seeing you this way. People aren't going to use to, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? You're going to get a lot of this if you want to do this. But, I would like to remind, and I'm going to have to go in a few minutes, that you're in this life for you. If you aren't making yourself happy, nobody else is ever going to do that. No one's going to do anything for you, but everybody is going to have an opinion about everything that you do. So be yourself. You're going to have to develop a very thick skin. If you are a thin-skinned person who gets hurt easily or insulted easily, this may not be, but try it. You never know. Ultimately, I think we can all change and adapt to whatever environment or whatever situation we need to, and be successful at it. This will help greatly. But not just sitting in the bedroom. There's other things that you can do. You can sit in your car. The only problem is you need to be either blindfolded, and you can't have noise or the visuals of what you see can cause influence. It's just and you may come up with something. There's a million of them. Go sit in the woods by yourself. There's a lot of things that you can do, but solitude is always the best. It's been practiced for tens of thousands of years by people to kind of center themselves, and every religion has an element of this. So that's what I would recommend doing once you learn who you are, and or at least begin to learn who you are, because it's not just going to happen in 3 hours. You're going to have to, it'll build on it. There are some people who go their whole lives and never know who they really are. They're, used to being somebody else. Some people turn that into a career. Just saying. So it's a very good place to start. Once you know who you are, and once you know, then you can learn what your strengths are. Are you a good thinker? Are you good physically? Are you good with your hands? Are you good with your eyes? Are you good with your ears? These are going to be very, very important to later on what becomes or what you do with, I guess craft would be the word, or ability, and will be extremely vital, but you need to know what that is first. Okay, I'm going to I have to stop this because of the time constraint, and I will see you soon. Thank you for listening.